followers do you need on Lemon8 in order to get brand deals and sponsorships? It's important to keep in mind that your number of followers is just a vanity metric. That means it's a fancy number that we try to impress people with, but doesn't actually matter in terms of getting those brand deals and sponsorships. Instead, we're looking at engagement rates. We want to know that you have an active and engaged fan base that will take your suggestions and go buy the products and services that you are recommending to them. So it's better for us to be looking for people who have 50 highly engaged followers who take your suggestions rather than 500, 5,000, 500,000 people who just glance at your content and keep on scrolling. So we're actually not looking at follower numbers. And if you're working with brands who are specifically looking at your follower numbers, that's a little bit of a red flag. You want to be cautious about potentially working with these people. That doesn't always mean that they're bad, but it does mean that they're uneducated, which could lead to some not so great results for you. So let's take a step back. What do you need in order to get brand deals and sponsorships on Lemon8? You need an engaged fan base. So even if you're brand new, you can start to build this up. Now, if you are only getting a handful of views on each of your posts, you're not really getting comments, you're not really getting that engagement, that probably indicates that you don't have that very high engagement rate that we're looking for and you need to build a little bit. So that's okay. You're in the building stage. The one exception to this is if you're already popular on another platform. For example, I am what they call TikTok famous. I've got a lot of people paying attention to me on TikTok. I've got a lot of people paying attention to me on YouTube, and I get a really high engagement rate. So I could actually pitch companies to then give me brand deals and sponsorships for my Lemon8 account, even though it's brand new, even though I only have a handful of followers, even though I'm getting lower views. Because on Lemon8, especially right now at the beginning of the platform, we know that the content being created today is the content that builds authority. This can take weeks or months to build authority in the algorithm system, but that content that gets developed right now on the ground level of Lemon8 is what's going to be served in 2 months, in 6 months, in a year, in 2 years, in 5 years, as new people join the platform. Think back to TikTok, who, by the way, is owned by the same company that owns Lemon8. Back in the day, when people got TikTok famous really early, those early videos built authority. Even now, when people are joining TikTok, they're being shown content from years ago that has performed really well because it has performed really well over the years. That is the ground level content that was starting TikTok that is now translated over to the foundations of introduction TikTok right now. The same thing will happen to Lemon8. So the content you're posting right now may only get 20, 30, 50 views right now, but a month from now, you will have gained authority. And 7 months from now, you will have gained more authority. It's going to continue to send out those videos, those posts, those albums, those carousels for days, weeks, months, and even years if you have developed really strong evergreen content for right now that will gain authority slowly as the platform grows. So as somebody who has a strong following on other social platforms, right now, I can pitch people because I know where my content is growing. The stuff that I'm posting right now may not get initial views right this second as quickly as some of my other platforms, but it will grow with that authority so that in 3 months, it has snowballed. In 7 months, it has snowballed. In 2 years, it has snowballed. And those people who get in early are going to get tons of traction and tons of views because they started with me while it was still smaller, growing authority in the algorithm system based on what I've done on other social platforms. Now, if you're brand new and you're just trying to make it big on Lemon8, you do need to put some time and effort into it. This is not something you're going to be able to do in a day or 2 weeks or 6 months even. This may be something that requires a little bit of time to grow. That does not mean you cannot go viral. That does not mean you cannot be the person to fill a niche and get a ton of views right now. You can very quickly grow your following, your community, your numbers, your engagement rate. All those things can happen very quickly. Some people do pop on and they grow very quickly within a couple of weeks and start doing really cool things because they're growing that authority. You have the opportunity to do that as well. So let's go back to the beginning. How many followers do you need to get those brand deals and sponsorships? You need to have an active and engaged community, whatever is going to look attractive to the people you want to work with. So if you're brand new to this and you go and pitch a big company like Target or Walmart, those people are going to want to see high level of followers and high engagement. If you're pitching something like a local boutique, you are more likely to get those brand deal relationships with them because they don't require as much. They don't need you to be some global international superstar on Lemon8. They need you to be aware of the local surroundings and be a voice for the local community. So we're looking at scaling what we're doing. Smaller companies, more niche companies are looking for more niche content. I am right now, you're the first to hear it, launching a brand new influencer platform. And you can actually follow along as I create this. I've got mine in the world of technology and marketing and public speaking and all of those fun design type things, photography, videography, all that. I've got that influencer platform down. I work with international companies. It's a big deal. But I'm starting a brand new one from scratch because I just adopted 2 puppies, one of which is with me right now, one of which is joining me in 2 weeks. And I'm launching the puppy influencer platform from scratch right now. KM Robinson Pups. So just like all of my other platforms, but pups on the end, KMROBINSONPUPS, is going to be my platform for my dogs. We are going to do brand deals and sponsorships. We're going to be creating content. I'm going to show you from the very beginning how we scale their business. Yes, their business. And we are going to show you how to make money from this platform. You can watch from its inception to the way that we create a really cool empire for these puppies of mine. And you can follow along with what I do and implement those tasks and those different things that I'm doing into how you're doing this as well. So a lot of the things that I'm doing can parlay into your businesses, your brands, your niches, and are things that I've done in the one that I've already developed for me as a personal brand. So you can follow along with those and you're going to see how quickly I am starting to get niche down things, because when I start talking on those separate channels about the dogs, about dog life, about mommy, puppy mommy stuff, all of those things, that's going to get the attraction of people in that side of the industry. People who are following me are also going to be dog moms. They're also going to be people who are getting new puppies. They're also going to be people who go in line with what I'm doing on that platform. Companies that are looking for that audience are much more likely to work with me, even though it's going to be a newer platform, because I have a very highly qualified audience. You can do that too. So as you're jumping on a Lemon8, yes, it's a very multi-dimensional platform. Yes, we want you to have a lot of different things going on here. We want to be very multifaceted because we can on Lemon8 where we can't on some of the other social platforms. But if you want those brand deals and sponsorships, the more niche down you go, the faster you get them and the bigger you get. So you want to make sure that you are honing in on who your audience is and really strongly serving those people and being very clear and dedicated to who your audience is. You want to make sure that's incredibly clear in your content so that people can start to find you and you can start to pitch different companies. Now, I do not necessarily recommend you're pitching companies when you have just a handful of followers. You do want to get it up a little bit higher. So aim for a couple hundred at least, and then start pitching smaller companies. You're going to start smaller with the more niche down companies, local boutiques, things like that. And you're going to grow up to the great big industry titans that you want to work with. Do not immediately go and pitch the big companies if you do not have the foundation for it. So think about probably a couple hundred is a good place to start looking for very small niche down things, and you're not going to charge very much for this. And then you're going to grow and scale as you go, and you're going to be able to level up from there. Again, the exception being if you're already popular on another social platform and you can bring in that knowledge and all of the work you've done there to implement into this and say, hey, look what I did here. I'm doing this over here, and you can get in early on this one. And again, we're growing and scaling with what we're charging on this one. It's not even a terrible thing to do some gifted collaborations on Lemon8 because it is such a brand new thing and everybody's testing it out. But make sure you watch our other videos on when, where, why, and how to do those effectively and when to avoid them like the plague. So check out the playlist for influencers down below. I'll link it for you guys. And you want to make sure that you are putting your best foot forward with this. You can even work with people on collaborations that benefit both of you in different ways. There's lots of things that you can be doing. And if you've got questions on this, go ahead and drop them down below. And I want to make sure you're, again, focused on your engagement rate. So even if you don't have a high number of followers, if you're getting tons of views on content consistently, not a one-off, not a viral video or a viral post, but consistently getting high views and engagement, likes, comments, shares, then you can start to pitch different companies and you can start to get in the space of companies that could potentially come to you and ask for collaborations as well. If you want information on how to do that, we've done videos on this before, but feel free to ask your questions because I'm happy to answer them again in different ways with different examples. And if you tell me what kind of business or niche you're in, I can actually give examples for you specifically to help you with what you're doing inside of your business. I give lots of great examples and I pull from my students and my members and the people who are following me and what their businesses are. I'm happy to include you in that as well to make sure I'm giving dedicated examples for you, because you can take what I'm teaching somebody else and apply it to you, but it's so much more fun if I talk directly to you, isn't it? So with that in mind, you want to build a strongly engaged community. When you have what you feel is a strongly engaged community of people who actively take your suggestions and go buy the products, try the things that you are recommending, then you can start to think about pitching and getting those brand deals inside of your business. And always keep yourself open to people coming to you. It's usually pretty unlikely that people will come to you and ask for collaborations, but when they do, you gotta be ready for it. So you wanna make sure you have your website ready to go. You've got all of your information there. You know where your lines are, where your borders are going to be, where your boundaries are going to be. You wanna make sure you understand where you're willing to go money-wise, and then have the flexibility to change that based on the companies that you are engaging with for potential interactions and collaborations with brand deals. Again, questions on this, go ahead and drop them down below, but please don't worry about your following number. It is not nearly as important as your engagement rate, and most people, at least the smart people who understand this industry and have done this before, do not focus on your following count. That is the smallest of metrics that they are looking at when it comes to determining who that they want to work with. We will see you in the upcoming episodes as we help you continue to navigate the world of social media marketing with TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, live streaming, Lemon8, and the tools and resources you need to save time and effort creating your social content so you can make more money online, but spend less time doing it. We'll see you in the upcoming episodes.